How do you say the title of this video? It's Link Your English, but it should sound like Link Your English. Can you do that? Well, go ahead and try it. Because if you can link your English, not only will you become a smoother speaker, you will also dramatically improve your listening skill. You know, there are many reasons why listening to English can be difficult. It could be lack of vocabulary, it could be grammar understanding, it could be somebody's accent. Unfortunately, many speakers in English do not speak clearly, including me sometimes. But one of the key reasons is the way that English links. And that means it can be difficult to understand where a word begins and where a word ends. But don't worry, you can learn to link. There are a couple of simple techniques that you can pick up which will help you to start linking your English, and that will help your brain to separate the words and improve your understanding. So there are several ways that English links. Let's take a look at two of the most common ways that you can start practicing today. The first way is to link words that start with vowel sounds. That's A, E, I, O, and U. And in fact, you're already doing this. Think about I am. You say I'm, she is, she's, they are, they're. Now, of course, these are actually contractions. In other words, we're cutting a letter. What we want to do is to say it like this. I am becomes I am, I am. She is becomes she is, she is. And they are becomes they are, they are. Okay, let's break this down into two types. First, there is vowel to vowel. Take a look at this list. You can see one word ends in a vowel, the next word begins in a vowel. So we want to connect these words. Try this with me. I always, I always. There's no end, there's no end. Just do it, just do it. The online, the online. My umbrella, my umbrella. Now, of course, that last one, that Y, is not a vowel, but it's a vowel sound. My is an I sound. My umbrella. Let's look at the next type. This is when we connect other sounds to vowel sounds like this. In this case, we're going to kick that sound to make it start the second word. Now, let me do this very slowly to show you what I mean. La Vanimals. Cly Meverest. Lose interest. Lo tov. Se tup. Kick that sound. Let's try it a little quicker. Love animals. Love animals. Climb Everest. Climb Everest. Lose interest. Lose interest. Lot of. Lot of. Set up. Set up. Now, if that feels a little bit difficult, don't worry. It takes a bit of practice, but you are already doing it, or you should already be doing it when you're using words with an. We don't say an apple, we say an apple. That N is kicking. An apple. Let's think about other examples. We've got an elephant. An elephant. What do we got? A-E-I. An igloo. An igloo. Oh, an orange. An orange. No, an orange. And finally, what are we missing? A-E-I-O-U. Of course, an umbrella. An umbrella. You're doing it with an. Next, do it with prepositions. Notice that there are many prepositions that start with vowels. We've got in and on and at. Well, let's take a look at this example. I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. That's not very good. Let's connect it. What are the words that start with vowels? There's in, on, at, and of. There's also you, because the sound is you. And there's also hours. That's not an H sound at the beginning. It's an hours. Let's practice connecting the words. Me you. You in, meet you in. Shop on, shop on. Friday at, Friday at. Fora, fora. Couple of, couple of. Of hours, of hours. Couple of hours. And let's read it slowly and get faster. I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. Hey, I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. Okay, practice it. Practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it. We're linking words that begin with vowels, but do you remember I said there is a second way to link? And that's when one word ends and the next word begins with the same or similar sounds. Now, there was an example in this sentence we just did, and I'm going to add a little bit to show you a second example. Let's take a look. I added, I feel lonely so at the beginning of the sentence, and notice that feel ends in L, lonely begins in L. What do? We link those words. I feel lonely. Feel lonely. Not feel lonely. Feel lonely. And can you see where the second one is? That's right, it's at 10. TT. So it's not at 10, it's at 10. At 10. Let's try reading the sentence again. I feel lonely, so I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. I feel lonely, so I'll meet you in the coffee shop on Friday at 10 for a couple of hours. You'll often find this with S. Take a look at some writing, a book, something on the internet. You are going to find words that end in S and words that begin with S. Connect to those words. For example, it's special. It's special. Put those words together. You'll also find ed endings that connect to. They're actually the same sound. Wanted to. They both have the T sound. So don't say she wanted to go. Oh, that's pretty good. Don't say she wanted to go. Say she wanted to go. Wanted to. Wanted to. It's actually difficult for me to say wanted to. I really, really, really want to say wanted to. Wanted to. Put it together. Expected to. Expected to. I expected to go. Think about hoped to. I hoped to go. Hoped to go. So you can kind of double it. Hoped to. But actually, hope to. Swallow that D. Hope to go. There's one case you really need to know about. Look at how can and can't connect to T. Oh, also, notice, because I'm British, my pronunciation is can and can't. That's different to American English, but that's not the key point. The key is how do these link? Let's try reading them. I can take you. I can't take you. I can take you. I can't take you. Now we don't hear a clear can't take. We hear can't take. Can't take. Now notice that it's slightly longer. It has more stress than the first one. You have to be really sensitive to catch this. If you can't, then please ask the person, did you say can or cannot? And that should clarify it for you. There are other ways that words link, but these are the two most important ones that you can start using today. Now, it's going to take you time before you can do this without thinking, so you need to train yourself. And the way to do that is through reading aloud. So, go and grab something that you want to read, and let's mark it up. Don't choose something too long, but choose something longer than this. This is only one sentence. Make sure you understand the words, make sure you can pronounce those words, then go through and highlight all the links. Focus on reading it as smoothly as you can before starting to build speed. Smoothness is more important than speed, but you do need to build that speed. What do we have in this sentence? Say it, not interrupt those who are doing it. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. So go and do it. And when you're done, please watch this video next.